Pacific 유연동입니다.
Hello, my name is Yu Dong from AMOREPACIFIC. So we just heard beautiful metaverse use cases from metaverse and other industries, and I represent the beauty industry in terms of the metaverse. And probably many of you would think that actually beauty industry did not make a lot of successes in metaverse, and somewhat that's true. So today, how our industry, the beauty industry, is building the metaverse. That's not going to be our focus. I want to talk about why our industry is interested in the metaverse and how we are looking at this metaverse. Those two questions are going to be my focus of the presentation today. So today, the goal of the presentation is that after my presentation, I hope you understand how beauty players think about the metaverse. And that would be great enough for my case. So today, first of all, I'd like to talk about the current status of the beauty industry. And second part of the content is going to be the use cases of the beauty metaverse. And the last part is going to be the metaverse project that's done by AMOREPACIFIC. So again, let me introduce myself officially. So Web3 project lead. I'm leading this department, and my name is Yu Dong from AMOREPACIFIC. So let me talk about the current status of the industry. So if you look at the cosmetics market size, it's about 250 trillion won. So every year, we are seeing the growth of 3 to 5%, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had slight decrease, but back in 2021, we were able to recover the sales, just like 2019. And let's look at by countries. As you know, China and the US are accounting the most portion of the market size, and we Korea stand, probably you are most curious about our countries. We believe we rank 9, well, according to the material, but I believe that right now at the moment we stand 7th or 8th. And lastly, let's look at top 10 cosmetic brands. So the US and French companies take the most pies portions, and so P&G and L'Oreal and Estee Lauder, they rank number 1 and 3, and AMOREPACIFIC Group ranked 6th. And actually, we are the only Korean company in this rank, but LG stands somewhere between us and 10th. And let me show you the use cases of the beauty brand Metaverse. So participants, I'm sure you are interested in various uses of the metaverse, but probably you haven't heard of a lot of use cases of the metaverse in beauty industry. But I just introduced you top 10 cosmetics brands, right? And actually, all of them are trying actively to use metaverse. Then, why are they interested in the beauty in metaverse? Actually, thanks to this presentation, I searched a lot of cases, and I think we have two main reasons for having interest in the metaverse. So first is creating virtual store, and the second one is it's about creating and delivering the brand identity via virtual space. So the first one is the use cases of the virtual store. So let me talk about my story first. So you can see that that picture is me. So starting 2011, I joined this beauty industry, and actually back then, offline revenue accounted a lot in the total revenue. I mean, I even visited stores to work, and I worked on sampling in the offline stores. And back then, my seniors talked a lot about this. E-commerce and online will not replace our industry because you have to test, you have to apply beauty products to your skin directly before you purchase them. So this is something that online cannot replace. That's what they said back in 2011. Do you agree with this talk? Well, it's not totally wrong. I mean, until 2011, online revenue via e-commerce accounted only 6.9% of the entire sales revenue. So back then, not only beauty industry but B2C, they accounted, they gained 10% of the revenue via online back then. But as you know, online market grew significantly. So by 2021, our e-commerce revenue accounted 36% of the entire sales. So I guess the number grew by 5 times or 6 times. And now actually today, our online revenue accounts 50% of our total sales. So why am I talking about e-commerce? This is the potential of the metaverse that our company is interested in.
인으로
When we have the digital transformation from offline to online, many cosmetic companies had difficulties, especially for companies like us, offline powerhouse. We had such a long time of difficulty. In order not to repeat the mistake, the PT companies are looking into the metaverse. So through the metaverse, many companies are advancing into metaverse. Let me share with you 2 samples. One is Charlotine Berry, and the other is Laneige. First, Charlotine Berry, created by Charlotine Berry of the UK. Charlotine Berry, and this brand has largely pink tone and colorful blend look. So in that sense, the metaverse space comes with robust colors and very highly immersive. For higher immersive, it comes with different sensors. You can check the links to see the tutorial clips and also check out the product information. And for more immersive experience, you can choose different types of avatar, your complexion, hair, dress, and you can choose from different makeups. And what's interesting is that you can summon other friends. Actually, in real world, women like to go to cosmetic shopping with their friends, and then the purchasing record rises about 1.8 times. So when you shop in avatar in virtual world, but if you invite your friends, then you can get some promotions like receiving more coupons. Next case is Laneige. Do you recognize who she is? Yes, this is actress Kim Yoo-jung, and Laneige is the brand owned by AMOREPACIFIC, which I work for. This brand is really loved by Chinese shoppers. So you must have seen this via media. When Chinese shoppers go to Korea, they sweep Laneige products when they come to Korea for shopping. So it's one of the favorite brands in China, and recently we have advanced into North America and the Europe market. So on our Laneige US homepage, it was last month that we opened a Metaverse space, and in this space, people can experience our brands and our products, so that this promotion leads to actual purchase. So what we have in mind is that the more users play in the Metaverse, the more the brands exposed and lead to the more purchasing cases. The spaces with specific themes and also other spaces collect the products and check the details and buy the products on the Metaverse and also watch the contents. This is Metaverse report from McKinsey. The Metaverse market is expected to grow to $5 trillion, and other brands will. This is the third point is most important. By 2030, the 80% of e-commerce will be connected, will happen in the point where it's connected to e-commerce, whether it's virtual store or experience hall. The Metaverse will embrace commerce. So you can't experience a sales boost via website through MOU, but we can say that investors are eyeing for the Metaverse market. The second is the branding story and brand identity. But I like to give you a pop quiz. And also you will get the gift. The 설화수 will be given out as a gift. Costs about $1,100. So now it's a gift. You're looking at me now. I'm happy. You can search on your smartphone tell me 5 brands owned by AMOREPACIFIC. I told you 2 already. Okay. Over there. Who's got the answer? Now, this lady in white shirt. Correct, that's the correct answer. Thank you. Thank you for the sound effect as well. Please find me after my presentation and take your gift. Now you are more attentive. Let's move on to the brand space. I'm not very sure about Busan, but in Seoul, the pop-up store is very popular these days. Pop-up stores are very popular these days, especially the hub of pop-up stores in Seoul, like Seongsu or Cheongdam for luxury brands. They are all dotted with pop-up stores in many locations in Seoul. The brands are operating pop-up stores not just to boost sales, but also to spread the identity of the brands. Actually, most of the brands are risking the losses to operate pop-up stores. and even for us, hundreds of millions of Korean won per month. But what's interesting is that the types of pop-up stores are shifting to metaverse, especially globally. The brands like Towel, Tiger, Gucci, Nike, they are practicing the metaverse campaign on online, and also for beauty brands, many companies are establishing their metaverse space. One is clinical, the other is P&G. The clinic. This brand is a skin brand in the US under the Estee Lauder. The existing beauty brands focused on emotional appeal, like beauty or some emotional aspects. But clinic is a little different. It approaches beauty from reasonable point of view. And you can see lots of figures and statistics on the label because they want to create the products based on science. To represent their brand identity, they created clinical lab to show how scientific their products are. First is the museum, where you can check out the history or heritage of the company. And the second stage is science stage, where you can see the properties of the products. And on the knowledge section, you can check out the perplexion related tips. Let's watch this video clip.
So it shows the expertise of the brand, and for that they created the metaverse space. And in case of clinic, they have another metaverse to utilize campaigns and show their identity. So for special skins and for unusual skinned females, they have a metaverse space to test beauty products via online.
Diversity in every aspect of life.
Everyone is included. No one is left out.
Superwoman, you're amazing. No comparing. Superwoman, you're a fighter. So fly higher. Superwoman, don't give up.
And lastly, let me show you an example of P&G. So P&G owns various beauty brands, just like AMOREPACIFIC. This is American brand, and you can see that Gillette and Brown, they are widely known male beauty product companies, and also P&G has a great portfolio for Faber's and Downy and Modali. And if you look at this slide, earlier I said that the company is trying to create a metaverse, right? And every year, companies participate CES to show their technology. And in 2021, P&G created their virtual experience lab called Life Lab. Let's look at the video.
이렇게 뭐 질레트 공간에 들어가면
So when you enter this Gillette space, you can experience various things such as virtually shaving, and they also introduce new products using this metaverse space. And in case of Oral-B, they showed the toothpaste in Metaverse, and also they had virtual experience labs such as toothbrushing. And last year, P&G had made beauty skirt to deliver their beauty philosophy. So this one has the Korean narration, so please read.
뷰티 스피어입니다. 이 안에서 소비자는 P&G의 뷰티 철학인 책임감 있는 뷰티에 대한 다양한 스토리를 경험할 수 있다고 합니다. 먼저 주소창에 beautysphere.com을 입력하고 메타버스 공간 속으로 접속해 보겠습니다. P&G의 뷰티 철학에 대한 간단한 소개와 함께 화면 중심으로 3D 건물과 다양한 키워드들이 등장합니다. 키워드를 클릭하면 그동안 P&G에서 자신들의 뷰티 철학을 어떻게 실현해왔는지를 다양한 영상 콘텐츠에 녹여내어 소개하고 있습니다. 영상을 감상했으면 좀 더 아래로 내려가 볼까요? 건물 맨 아래층에서는 영국 왕립식물원인 휴가든을 그대로 재현한 메타버스 공간 속으로 입장할 수 있다고 하는데요. 한번 들어가 보겠습니다. 와, 여기가 바로 휴가든이군요. 울창한 숲속에 온 것 같네요. 저기 총 5개의 아이콘을 수집하라는 임무가 생겼습니다. 지도를 보면서 앞으로 이동해 보겠습니다. 저기 나무 아래 초록색 아이콘 보이시나요? 한번 클릭해 볼까요? 와, 아르간 열매를 찾았네요. 아르간 열매에서 나오는 아르간 오일은 피부 미용과 보습에 탁월한 효과를 가지고 있어 높은 인기를 끌고 있는 천연 원료 중 하나죠.
So up till here, I showed 4 examples of the metaverse use of the beauty brands. And now let me introduce the metaverse case done by AMOREPACIFIC. So we opened Unity. So let me show you the teaser. So that was the teaser video. So last March, we on the Decentraland platform, we opened this virtual space called New Beauty Land. So when I introduced this one, I get a lot of these 2 questions. So first, people ask, what is Decentraland? And for those who know Decentraland, they ask, why did you choose Decentraland? So since people in this room are interested in Decentraland, I can directly jump into the answer for second question, why Decentraland? So Web3 Metaverse was pursued by us before. It was for interoperability and openness and economic feasibility. So we thought that this Metaverse was proper for our case. And I know there are excellent platforms out there, but when it comes to experience and when it comes to economic feasibility among users, we thought that Decentraland was the best case. And also we thought about the future value of the brand. In case of the Roblox, the brand that was introduced earlier, this can be scaled out infinitely, right? But in case of Web3, based on NFT, it has double layers. So in case of Decentraland, there are 90,000 nodes that are limited. And if you look at the Decentraland, every location has a specialty. So in case of Vegas City, then this has the theme of Las Vegas. So casino and those entertainments are developed a lot. And in case of our brand, we were very interested in beauty. And a lot of companies had a beauty pop-up online stores there. So we believe that this Decentraland Beauty City will be like a New York City Soho in the future. And the third reason for choosing Decentraland is we wanted to have a strategy to have cooperation with other companies, so Fidelity, Samsung Electronics. So those top-tier companies use Decentraland. They were having a lot of activities in Decentraland, and we targeted those companies for cooperation. And beauty fashion brands get together and open events on this land, and we thought that maybe using those events we can increase the traffic among users in this metaverse. So let me talk about this new beauty land more. So new beauty value that we pursue is delivered on this beauty land, and this is a new metaverse experiment. So in Seoul, Yongsan, we have the headquarters, and you know that the value is great and it is recognized highly. And we motivated, we used that actual headquarters for building the virtual building in this metaverse. So we have the photo zones. And we have a pop-up space where people can enjoy this new beauty on the first floor. And in the second store, we have brands exhibitions available. And on the third floor, through NFT, users can explore new beauty products. So if you read these words, it's probably difficult to understand. So let me show you the video clip.
네, 저희는 이렇게 공간을 구축하고
So this is how we created the metaverse space, and this is not just going to be a one-time event. When we have an external promotion, we are going to use this space. And one case of that is Metaverse Fashion Week. So this Fashion Week, as far as I know, in the metaverse scene, this is the most scalable event that is held. So about 70 to 80 global fashion companies participate this week event, and the top-tier designs get involved for designing the actual clothes, and also NFT, using NFT, designing the avatar clothes is available. Actually, this is the second event that is held ever. But the thing is, somehow this year's event is a bit unpopular compared to the previous year, but still we have tens of K participants participating this one, and it's not actually gaining attention in the country yet, but there are a lot of articles posted in the media, including Yahoo. So this Fashion Week is growing, and we participated this event as well. So DMG and with other fashion brands, we had collaboration. So there is a recap video that I want to show you. So through the New Beauty Land project, we'd like to solve some of the challenges that we are facing. So our company has a long history, but that means our brands are getting older. And we have a lot of clients that are getting older with their passion for our brands. So we are trying to explore new customers. So DMZ and those companies are our candidate for collaborating using this metaverse. And this metaverse is going to be our new chance for creating new branding. I mean, right now, when we look at our offline space, it has some of the limitations for having a lot of imaginations and creating new brands. And also the cost is something that we need to consider. I just mentioned about the pop-up store, and in order to create some of the pop-up stores, we have to spend tens of millions of Korean won, but we can save the cost by having new branding in Metaverse. And we want to create a new communication space using our new beauty land. So people say that we companies try to communicate with our clients better, but I think using Metaverse we can have more effective communication with our users. And this is going to be an evolved new communication style. So that's going to be our new project. And the last one, this is the last section. So as I was working on this Metaverse conference presentation, a lot of people said that, Metaverse is dead. And actually, are we going to start Metaverse again? I don't know if they were joking or if they were really serious. But, recently, the new innovation was created by ChatGPT. And people say that, Metaverse is going to be the old one. And do you know what kind of graph is this? If you look at this trend of the graph, within the 3 months, the number grew by 20 times. This is the trend of the Zoom service. It's the Zoom DAU change. And without changing the work style of Zoom employees, you can see that there was COVID-19 pandemic before. And I think that's the case for Metaverse as well. It seems Metaverse is stagnant in the market right now, and it's not improving a lot. But if we are going to meet the transformation point, then we can grow significantly. Then what kind of transformation point would be? Is it going to be MetaQuest or not? I don't know what that will be, but we believe that we can be the main player using the Metaverse. So you are working for Metaverse, and I am working for it as well. So the most important factor for us is that we don't have to care about what people say about Metaverse. I think we just have to go constantly and make it forward. So we will be the main player soon using Metaverse. So thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you. Let's give him a warm round of applause. It was such an immersive presentation. Now let's move on to the Q&A session. So if you have any questions or any comment about Metaverse or AMOREPACIFIC, please raise your hand. Before asking questions, please identify yourself. No questions since his presentation was perfect. I have one question myself. From the clinic's case, the complexion and depending on the complexion, you choose different types of cosmetics. The benefits of offline stores is that you can actually try the samples. Then how can we? So I hope we can try that in Metaverse as well. But do we really have the technology to have it customized? Yes, actually, that's the last hurdle for beauty industry. In this, from my presentation, I largely focused on something outlook. For your question, we are preparing for that, like your complexion and skin tones, texture. We have to have the technology to capture them, but it may take a little longer before that. Yes, I look forward to that. Thank you. And any other questions? Yes. I'm Won Jong-sik from Korea Mint Corporation. The Metaverse space, as I know, for females, they like to go shopping in company because that is entertainment in itself. And in the space of Metaverse, how old is the users? Are the users who stay in the Metaverse, and do you have any statistics about how long they stay in the Metaverse? So actually, when it comes to the age, it depends on platforms, but for Chipero and Roblox, most of the customers are 10, the teenagers, and for Roblox, those who love gaming, and for Roblox, most of the users are those who like game and Decentraland and the Sandbox. Most of the users are in their 20s or 30s. And figures for the remaining hours, there's not much, but judging from the other cases, they released the data recently. On our standard, on average 17 minutes. That was what we found about how long they stay. And for other cases, I'm sorry, I don't have a statistic for that. I'm asking this question because if a female likes to have chat and go shopping at the same time, that pleasure and you can create good platforms, but after all, it seeks profits. So I'm wondering if you have developed a killer contents. That's a very harsh question. That's one of the biggest challenges for us. If you want to invest in Metaverse, there must be something in return. It's not just about creating the space where people can come and play. It's hard to persuade and convince the management. But that depends. Some brands only focuses on user experience, and for some brands they use the channel to promote their products. A good case to share, not so successful one these days, something fun. So far, no such cases so far. But for AMOREPACIFIC, we are trying to create samples ourselves. And I missed in my presentation, but our plan, we are expanding into more platforms to create multi-metaverse platform, because AMOREPACIFIC targets different groups of consumers, as we do with social networks. Insta and Facebook, they all have different purposes when we want to upload our photos. I think that will happen with Metaverse. Geppetto may be good at something, and Geppetto may be good at something else, but we will be creating the good cases, and we will create new cases. Thank you. Let's give him a warm round of applause.